Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also, and the works that are therein, shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of God, when the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent, that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless.
And what is our destiny? To be in this truth. To be in this truth and to make it to the end. As it is written, to finish the work. Like Yahushua said, have finished the work. You know? The Apostle Paul said the same thing. Henceforth I know there's a crown of righteousness that is laid up for me. Okay, that is our destiny. What are we fighting for, brothers? We're fighting for a righteous world. 2 Peter 3:13, we're fighting for a world of total righteousness. We're fighting for a world where we're going to be exalted, where we're going to be lauded, where we're going to be praised as the people of the Most High, as the Israelites, as the elect of the nation of Israel. Think about that, man. The elect of the nation of Israel, part of the 144,000. Think about that. Huh? That alone should inspire you. There's even a song, man. Oh, when the saints come marching in. We're those saints that's going to come marching in. Oh, I want to be in that number. We're in that number. We believe that according to faith. Come on, brothers.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Bakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful look out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Bakakwadash, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the listener, the believers who have came back to obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Al Shah. All right. And what I want to get into this morning, is dealing with the guys of this world have reached their end. Okay. The guys of this world have reached their end. You see, so going into this live stream, because when you look at Esau Edom, and the level he's made it to in the earth, the way the Lord has allowed this man to tap in on the left-hand side, looking from, a carnal perspective, this man will be likened unto a God. When you look at this man from, the viewpoint of what he's able to do, in the earth, to influence the military, the economics, the enchantments, the things that he controls, he's able to, create a reality for people, through his media, through his curriculums in school, and you see his movies and music. He's able to enchant, create, these false realities that people believe to be true, which is a high level of witchcraft. So looking at this man on a carnal level, looking at Esau, he seems to be a god. Okay. And when you look at, how people react, how far ahead he's been, the master for so long, you can see why, he himself thinks that he's a God, you know, which the Lord, has gained this man, immense power, for a mortal, okay? To be a mortal man, this man has tapped in, to the left hand like no other. You see? But we're getting ready to see, and what the Lord is even showing now, all right, that he's not a God in the sense, that he has power within himself. Okay, he's a mere mortal that's been propped up in power. Okay, so when you go into the scripture, let's get it. Start off with 2 Corinthians chapter 4. Second Corinthians 4:3 says, "But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost." Okay, because we understand as we teach this word, well, this word is not for everyone. You see, this word is not for the nations, and this word is even not for all our people. Okay, so we understand that as we teach, there's only a remnant that's meant to get it, and to the rest, it was intentionally hidden from, and this was done intentionally. Even our people, all right, who are blinded, okay, they're blinded intentionally. This is something that the Lord is allowing. All right. So when you go to verse 4, it says, "In whom the God of this world had blinded the minds of them that believe not, least the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them." Okay. So when you go into whom the God of this world, okay, and we know ultimately it begins with Satan, but then who's the physical counterpart of Satan? Esau. Okay. He's the physical counterpart of Satan in the earth. He rules, all right, being possessed by Satan. Okay. And if you look at that man, if you look at Esau carnally, because the longest time this man, has had the whole world in awe. But there's a remnant waking up to, wait a minute, this nigga's not true God. Okay. It's our power that has this man propped up. Okay. When you look at this word God, this word God in the Greek, which is theos, So you look it up in the Greek theos.
Strong's G 2316. Theos. Theos.
All right, it says a god or goddess, a general name of deities and divinities. Okay, because when you look at, these other gods and goddesses that these heathen worship, okay, these idols, well, they're really just worshiping demons, different demons. When you go into what these heathens worship as gods and goddesses, it's just the worship of demons. The statues have no power, okay, within themselves, okay, but they just conjure up demons, through these rituals, on the left hand side, and say there's no one that's been able to do that like Esau, to the point that he conjured up Satan himself. Okay, now when you jump down, you have to understand what it says of magistrates and judges, okay, which are rulers. Okay, so the rulers and judges of this world, which is Esau, Edom, okay, they're tapped into who? The spiritual demon Satan. And the people that they have blinded are blinded through the spirit and the enchantments, okay, of Satan, man. That's why people not only not believe, 2/3, but they are against, okay, the truth, man. You see? So that's why even when you go back, let's get this in the NLT. Okay, it says Satan, who is the God of this world, this is 2 Corinthians 4:4. It says Satan, who is the God of this world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe. Now, Satan directly blinding the minds, all right, of our people that don't believe? No, he's working through Esau. Okay, and has Esau, propped up on the left hand side as if he's a god. You see, it says Satan, who is the god of this world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe. They are unable to see the glorious light of the good news. They don't understand this message about the glory of Hamashiach, who is the exact likeness of the Most High, of true power. You see, and for the elect, all right, whom the Lord has allowed, to believe, okay, this gospel, the good news, come back to understand who we are, understand our power. Well, we look at Esau and we know where he really is. He's a guide to the unbelievers, man. You see, that's why they hang on to every word he say. They listen to this nigga's instructions. Okay, they trust this man to put poison in them. They're going to trust this man to put technology in them, because to the masses, all right, of our people, this man, he's a guide to them. Either might come out in a lab coat, okay, with glasses on, all right, and our people are all ears, okay. Our people are willing, to risk their life, to put their life in the hands, okay, of Esau. You see, and where you go here, because how did Esau get his power? Okay, of course, through the Most High. Okay, but through what channel? You see, it's on the left hand side. Through who? Through Satan. Okay. This is Luke 4 and 5. Now this is when Yahushua was being tempted in the wilderness. Okay, and Satan came to him. This is Luke 4 and 5. It says, and the devil, taking him up into a high mountain, showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said unto him, all power, you see that, will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will give it. Okay, so the Satan is trying to cut a deal with Yahushua. Told him, look, basically, Yahushua, I can make you ruler. But he was talking about on the left hand side. Okay, he was talking about on the left hand side. So he's coming to Yahushua saying, look, I can make you a global ruler, a ruler over all the kingdoms. But Yahushua, refuse what you're going to get. But what did Satan say in this dialogue? He said, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will give it. Now let's get this in the NLT. All right, so you get this in the NLT. It says, I will give you the glory of these kingdoms and authority over them. The devil said, because they are mine to give to anyone I please. Okay? So right now the earth is under the dominion of the spiritual demon Satan, and it's being ran through who? Esau, who's what? Tapped in. Because what did Esau do? When you go to, for a period, the Lord is allowing the earth to be under the influence of Satan through who? Through Esau. Okay? It says, and the devil said unto him, all power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and whomsoever I will give it. If thou therefore wilt worship me, it shall be thine. All right, all shall be thine. Okay, and what did Esau do? He worshipped Satan. You see, he comes in the energy of Satan. Okay, and that's what gives him his seat of power on the left hand side. It's through Satan. Okay, ultimately through the Most High, because the Most High too that orchestrated that, man, who set that up. Okay, for Esau, Edom to rule in the spirit of Satan in the earth. Okay, and to the masses, he's become what? The God of this world through Satan, man. Okay, and his prophecy unveils, we're seeing that what? He's not a true God. He's propped up. Okay, Let's go here, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. All right, verse 3 said, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Okay? So, as Apostle Paul is going into, there has to be a falling away first, before the end. You see, there's still a great falling away that we had to go through as a people. Okay? So we fell away as a people. 70 AD, the southern tribes, ran out of Judea, okay, to the interiors of Africa. Eventually, will go into captivity. The northern tribes, they will be over here. They will fall away. We had a little residue of who we were, all right. But after chattel slavery, you see, we completely fell away as a people. Becoming a no people. You see, but in the midst of that, there will be awakening, because the man of sin being revealed. Well, that's through the awakening of the Israelites. You see, that's through the true children of the Most High, the true sons of God being awakened. Okay, and when you will get the man of sin, Esau, Edom, to be revealed. It says, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called the Most High. Okay, because the devil, he's been given authority. He's able to tamper with things that heathens, can dream about doing. The way he can tamper with the air, with the weather. Okay, with the he's able to tap into CERN, portals, and you see, he's able to do particular things on the left hand side. Okay, and through that, he thinks that he's on the level to where he can replace the Most High. That's why I said, or that is worship, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High. So him thinking that he is like the Most High, which he's deceived. Esau's deceived, like he's a god. Okay, like he has, some like he's equivalent to the Most High. Okay, that can handle the day-to-day operations of the Most High, man, which he's nowhere near that. Okay, but the Most High wants this man deceived as a god. He wants Esau to look at himself as a god, man. Okay, so he can become proud, so he can try what he's trying. Okay, it says showing himself that he is the Most High. Okay, and this is how he presents himself to the world. And the devil, he's able to do, a lot of things, for a mere mortal. Even in like micro technology and nanotechnology, man, that's some hell of a, access he has. All right, there's some hell of a ability he has as a mere mortal. Okay, but in his mind, he's reached some type of God status on the level with the Most High. You see, and that's what has him emboldened to try to do what he's doing. It said, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in this time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work, only he who now let it will let until he be taken out of the way. Yeah, so it was all about timing. You see, and as the prophets have been raised up, well, Esau, Edom, right, the mystery of iniquity, which is Esau, because at this time you had Edom, Rome ruling. Okay, that's why Apostle Paul said, the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Speaking of pagan Rome, okay, this pagan Greco-Roman Empire during the time of these epistles. You see, and he was letting them know only he who now led it will let. The Most High is allowing this man, okay, to rule in wickedness until he be taken out of the way. Okay, and before he will be taken out, before he will be removed from power, and then shall the wicked be revealed. You see, whom the Lord will consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. You see that? So who's the spirit of the mouth? The prophets. Okay, the prophets are revealing the wicked. Okay, Esau Edom. Okay, waving the hand at this nigga and telling him, look, you're not no real God. Okay, or this current age, he's the God of this world. You see, in this age and his reality that he's created, he's a God. That's why he wants the technocracy so he can really turn up the knob and play in the Most High. He wants to put the technology in you and go to a new level of control. Okay, so where he wants to imitate the Most High. Okay, and we can see just how he's trying to throw this thing together. Nigga, you do not got it. Esau don't got it. Okay, verse 9 it says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Okay, you see that? So even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders. Yeah, so he's able, to have power on the left hand side. Okay, and lying wonders, and the main lying wonders, all right, that we see now what this AI, is able to do, wonders. Okay, is able to do particular things. Okay, in an extraordinary way. You see, the way he's able to count, organize, do certain tasks, he's able to do these things in an extraordinary way. Okay, but this devil, he hypes it up as if it's on a level with the Most High, as if his AI, okay, it has the potential to become all powerful like the Most High, man. And that's what makes it a lying wonder, man, because he exaggerates the capabilities, man. He exaggerates his own capabilities, man, because it benefits him for people to think that he's more powerful than what he is. All right, because that makes people self-govern themselves just based off the speculation. And just like the American military, it was just this big hype of how powerful it was, which it was powerful. It is powerful. Okay, it is powerful, man. You see, but it's not. You see, the American military is powerful, but it's not above prophecy. It's not immune to prophecy. So there is written in the scriptures that Babylon and its military and this whole infrastructure will be destroyed. So I don't care how powerful, okay, the military is supposed to be, well, it's not more powerful than prophecy, the will of Yahweh Bashim al-Shai. Okay? And a lot of that military might of America, was based in speculation. Okay? You look at the footprint of America's military, these bases all over the world. Well, that wasn't a representation of its true power. That was an exaggeration. Okay? It is a powerful fighting force. Okay? Extremely powerful fighting force, man. Okay? But the power it was projecting, it was exaggerated. Okay? The true capability of, and what we're seeing is just the limitation. Okay? What type of God has limitations, man? You see? And the Lord is showing us what the limitations of Esau. Okay, he worships Satan. He tapped into the left hand. Satan has been having Esau souped up. Okay, and what did it do? It brought him right to the king of terror. Now he's at his end. You see, now the devil is at his end. You see, he's scrambling. Okay, he's divided. And what do the scriptures say? Let's go here. Mark chapter 3. It's the book of Mark chapter 3 and verse 23. Sorry, 24. Yeah, get to the point. Mark 3:24 says, and if Satan be divided against itself, their kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against Satan and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. So you got these different devils, these different elites, okay, that come in the spirit of Satan, okay, but there's division. There are things that they're divided on, and we can see, the infighting starting to play out real time with these conflicts and wars, okay, which is going to lead to a global war, all right, which is going to end the kingdom in the spirit of Satan, okay, and usher in the kingdom of Yahweh Bashim Al Shah and the true sons of God, all right, the Israelites, okay. So when you go from there, when you get this in, let's get this in Ezekiel 28, okay, and which we know as this was written during the time of, all right, the king of Tyre, okay, which Tyre had became, a wealthy, merchant, okay, country, and look at Tyre, the island, you see, it was hard to invade, and it was a merchant country, similar to what America, man. You see, and that's why the destruction of America is going to be through what thermonuclear missiles. These nations have the technology to reach America because invading America military, that's impossible, man, because those big oceans. Okay, so no navy, you wouldn't be able to amass troops anywhere, to invade America. Okay, so the way America is set up, all right, and the Lord wanted the nation to destroy America through nukes. Now, if the Lord wanted America to be invaded, it would be invaded. Damn the logistics. It's written in the scriptures. You can throw logistics out the window. Okay, but just going into the similarities of Tyre and America. All right, Tyre, it was like an island in the Mediterranean. It was hard, to conquer. Many have tried. Now eventually the Lord did allow, Alexander, okay, to conquer Tyre. He called hell. He died not too long after, the conquest of Tyre. You see, but the Lord is speaking to the pride of a ruler. Okay, and we know this applies to Esau, Edom today. So when you go to Ezekiel 28:1, it says, "The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, Thus said the Lord power, Behold, thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God. I sit in the seat of the Most High," one similar to Thessalonians, "in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not the Most High. Though thou set thy heart is the heart of the Most High, not mine." In his mind, he thinks that he can be the Most High. He thinks he can fulfill the Most High with the power that the Lord has allowed him to tap into. He thinks that he's equal. He thinks that he's a peer to the Most High. You see, this man thinks that he's an actual peer. When you go into let me see. Let's see what we go to. So let's look at this real quick. We'll go back to Ezekiel. Okay, because Esau looks at himself as if he's a real peer to the Most High. You get this word peer. Okay. It says a peer primarily means an equal person, a British nobleman, or action of looking closely. So it says as a noun, equal colleague. It says same group. It says a person who has the same age, rank, or social status match. It says someone or something equal in ability or value. Okay, and this is what Esau thinks, that he's equal in ability and value according to the Most High, because he's been given power on the left hand side, that he really thinks that he's a peer. You see, this man really think he's a peer to the Most High. Okay, as if he's, capable of the same ability. Okay, he's capable to have the same authority. Okay, because he's been able to tap into things. You see, and not knowing that it's the Most High just gave him a look, smidgen of power, just so he can get proud and destroy his goddamn self, man. Okay, because this power, that's why you look at this power that was given to him, is a power that's making this man crash out, and it's bringing him to a true power. Okay, and that's what the Lord is getting ready to do on a global scale, to show the world that this man, he's just a man. That's why Scripture says, "Is this the man who made nations? Is this the man?" When we see Esau in the kingdom, man, script of the power that the Lord giving this man, it's gonna be beyond laughable, man. Okay, Ezekiel 28:3 says, "Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret they can hide from thee." Okay, and this is his mind. In his mind, he think, that he can be all knowing and all seeing. Now he's able to know a lot and see a lot, but he's not all knowing. Okay, and then it shows you the level that the prophets are on, because it's comparing the whole nation to one man. It says, "Behold, thou," speaking of the whole nation of Esau, all right, "behold, thou art wiser than Daniel." You see, and it takes Esau to have all these data centers, satellites in the sky, micro technology, and this and that. It takes all this, cameras everywhere, and listening devices, and phone, TVs, laptops, and it takes all this, and the Most High still just compares him to one prophet, man, showing you how the ceiling of a prophet is way beyond Esau, Edom at his best, with all this technology and trillions of dollars and Air Force and military and Navy and this and that. You see, Most High compared him to one man. This whole setup he got, this whole quadrillion dollar setup he got, the Most High compared him to one man. You see, and then when you read in the NLT, okay, you read in the NLT, okay, you read in NLT, it says, "You regard yourself as wiser than Daniel, and think no secret is hidden from you." Okay? But we have to understand, like I said, this devil, he's able to see a lot and know a lot, but he doesn't know everything. It will make him all knowing. Even with AI, super duper trooper AI, whatever you want to call that shit, it will still be limited. He wouldn't be all knowing. Okay? He's a mere man. He doesn't have the capability to be all knowing. No matter how much technology he has, he can never be all knowing. Okay? It will increase his ability to spy and track his technocracy, but would it make him all knowing? Absolutely not, man. Okay? That's why when you keep reading in the chapter, let's get in NLT, when you keep reading down in the same chapter, all right, it's Ezekiel 28:3 says, "You regard yourself as wiser than Daniel, and think no secret is hidden from you. With your wisdom and understanding, you have amassed great wealth, gold, silver, all right, for your treasures." Yeah, so the devil has these different systems, and the way he has the economy set up to where all the wealth flows into him, in the world. All right, the masses are slaves unto this economic system. And that's why this new system is going to be digital slavery on a whole nother level. Okay? It says, yes, your wisdom has made you very rich, and your riches have made you very proud. You know, the wealth that this man has amassed. You know, even his whole system of wealth is a fraud, man. This man has created a system where he can print wealth. Okay? Playing into his ego where he thinks he's a god, to where he's able, the thing that people, you know, would die for. Okay? The power that this paper money has over people, and he's able to print it. So you know that plays into his pride, man. He's able to print the things that people worship and would die for, man. He's able to print it. Has trillions of it. You see? He said, therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says, because you think you are as wise as a God, I will now bring against you a foreign army, the terror of the nations. And this is what we're seeing now. Okay, the same man that's parading himself as a God, the Lord said he will bring a foreign army against them. Okay, and we're seeing this, man, happen in real time. And what's happening on the global stage? Esau is being made to be normal as hell, man. See, all this speculation about, you know, the power of the American military, see, it's going out the window. It's the Lord is doing this. Just like he used America as a tool, well, he's using other nations as a tool to bring this place down. Okay, that's the ability of a true God. Can raise up a nation when he feels like it, he brings a nation down. You see, Most I don't need gimmicks, you know, magic tricks. No, he got true power. Okay, and he's able to raise up, you know, because if the Lord wanted Ethiopia to take down America, he could have, man. Okay, so the Lord is doing his will. You see, because if you're a God, if Esau's a God, well, nigga, this is the time to show it. Okay, and whatever technology you got that you ain't brought out yet, nigga, you better bring it out, nigga. You ain't got time. Okay, you ain't got time to keep nothing in your pocket, nigga. You better bring it all out. Okay, throw everything you got and trying to establish a new world order. Okay, it says, I will bring, all right, against you a foreign army, the terror of the nations. They will draw their swords against you. Okay, these missiles, your marvelous wisdom, and defile your splendor. Okay, because the Lord has what? He has souped these nations up, just like he souped up Esau through Satan and America. He souped them up. Well, guess what? Now the Lord is souping up these other nations to show who's the true power. Right before he sends his son, Yahushua, to put down all the nations, man. It said they will bring you down to the pit and you will die in the heart of the sea, pierced with many wounds, man. Okay? So the devil, he's gonna on his way out, it's gonna be an embarrassing, you know, it's gonna be an embarrassing fall for Esau. And he's gonna be wounded many several ways, man. Okay, his NWO is gonna be a disaster. Okay, his military campaign gonna be a disaster. Okay, this man gonna go out with many wounds. His enchantments, okay, are not gonna work. AI gonna be an embarrassment. Okay, his devil going out with many wounds. You see, it says, will you then boast I am a God to those who kill you? To them you will be no God, but merely a man. But merely a man. You will die like an outcast at the hands of foreigners. I, the sovereign Lord, have spoken. You see, the true power has spoken. Okay, and what we're seeing in Esau is becoming a base man right before our eyes. Okay, you know, he's been able to parade himself around, you know, with God status in the earth. You know, and to the simple, he is a God, man. But as we come back to who we are, all right, as we, you know, tapped into true power, man, we look at this man, he's just a mere man that's propped up. Okay, he's just a mere mortal that's propped up, man. You see, and he's reached his end. You know, and he's finna die. His kingdom is finna go out in a very embarrassing fashion, man. His rulership, okay, is gonna be ended by true power. Okay? And eventually, after 1,000 years, he's gonna be rounded up and exterminated, man, out of here, man. Okay? So that's the point, you know, Lord will, you brothers. All right, and you few sisters edified. Till next time, I say shalom. Kwame Ashala, Abba soon. Shalom.